Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Gerald's Game, which is an adaptation of a Stephen King novel, and this was made by Netflix, and obviously I didn't see this in theaters, watched this on Netflix, and it's about a woman who's trying to shake up her marriage with her husband, and they go out to a secluded house, and she's handcuffed to the bed, husband dies of a heart attack, and holy shit ensues. And what this film does that I think is very interesting, it's more than just like a quick high concept. It's like, what's she gonna do, stuck to a bed kind of thing, and deals with some other stuff. Some of the other stuff I think was fantastic and really powerful. Some of it I'm like, what the hell is this doing in this film kind of thing. But this is directed and written by Mike Flanagan, who honestly is really showing himself as a talented filmmaker with films like Oculus and the Ouija Origin of Evil, which I actually really enjoy. And he really does a good job with this film as well in terms of fleshing out the story, balancing all these different things in terms of flashbacks and memories and hallucinations and all kinds of different stuff, and really bringing the story together. And does it drag a bit at certain points and get a little repetitive? Yeah, but that's kind of with the story more than with the directing. Tonally, this is a very tense, very thrilling, very hard to watch film, and I think there's moments where this film really affected me, and there's some body horror kind of stuff. There's one part in particular, but also a lot of psychological things, and it really hits on all those different aspects. And I think that's what's really cool, is this film hits on a bunch of different horror styles all at once in the same film, so it keeps it fresh. It doesn't keep hitting on the same. It's not like Saw, where it's just like torture porn the whole entire thing. There is some of that in this film, but there's psychological things and really dealing with this woman who's stuck here. The cinematography done by Michael Vagneri, it's fine. It looks like a Netflix movie. That's the thing. It really does look like, yeah, this looks like it's shot on Netflix. There's some interesting shots. There's some good use of framing, and it seems like it was a made for Netflix movie, and it's like that kind of look to it that you can tell that it's made for Netflix. But I think the camera work was very well done. With the writing by Mike Flanagan and Jeff Howard, the characters, like the story, it's very interesting, and it deals with a lot of psychological things and emotional baggage that this woman brings into this situation. And I think that those aspects of this film are very powerful and dealing with some like very traumatizing things. And I think that's what elevates the story to, this was written by Stephen King and not just like somebody came up with like what if scenario kind of thing, and it does make it a more important film than just like some genre fun in a horror genre and thriller. But there's one thing, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but there's another aspect, another character in this film that I thought was like really out of left field. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I really didn't like it. I kind of wish that they just took it out of the film. It really bothered me, and especially how it resolved really bothered me too, but I'm not going to go into spoilers about that. But in terms of the characters, this woman has a lot of depth, a lot of interesting things, and how they utilize her own hallucinations of her husband and herself to build up her character. This is just as much a character study as it is a horror film dealing with all these this scenario that she's stuck in, which I think was very interesting. The dialogue can get, it depending on what part of the film you're dealing with, and that really does deal with the story. Some of it feels really like hits home, sincere, and harsh, honestly. Some of the things that these hallucinations are telling her and saying to her, but some of it feels a little hokey and a little out there. But in terms of the themes what this deals with, I'm not going to give away what it deals with and what she's been through, because I don't want to, I feel like I don't want to divulge too much of that. I feel like it's more beneficial to figure it out watching the film, but she deals with a lot of very hard, harsh things, and honestly, abuse is a big thing going on. I'm going to leave it at that, but this film really does deal with those things very well. In terms of the performances, Carla Cucino is amazing in this film. She anchors this whole film. She carries it on her back. She really brings the emotion to this film and does a fantastic job. Bruce Greenwood does a nice job as well, and he dies at the beginning. You don't expect him to be in it a whole lot, but with that aspect of hallucinations, he does a fantastic job. And honestly, the acting is really well done in this film. And composing, the music by the Newton Brothers, it's a very creepy but beautiful kind of score, and I think it does a really good job of elevating the film and different aspects and different scenes in the film. And then my final thoughts, it's a disturbing, intense thriller with scares and some heavy story, with some poor choices of padding the film or adding some more stuff to the film. But honestly, I think this is a really well done film. I think it's a good horror genre film, and you should go check it out. It's on Netflix if you have it. There's nothing to lose. It's not super long. I'm going to give Gerald's Game a B.